Now that owner Mark Davis gave GM Tom Telesco and head coach Antonio Pierce clearance, the Las Vegas Raiders can trade up in the first round. So of course, Raider Nation has renewed hopes in drafting Jayden Daniels, who many expect to be the third quarterback off the board. That puts the New England Patriots at the negotiating table with the Raiders for the number 3 overall pick. In 2021, the San Francisco 49ers gave up 3 first-round picks and a third-round pick to move up from number 12 to number 3. The Raiders are trying to move up from number 13 to number 3, so the Patriots will at least want that, right? 3 first-round picks and a third-round pick is a steep price for the Raiders. So what do you think of the Raiders using a couple of good young assets to mitigate the draft capital cost? One guy the Patriots already know and like is receiver Jakobi Meyers. When talking about him on the episode of The Sharp, Patriots owner Robert Kraft said they shouldn't have let him go. Superstar receiver Davante Adams called him one of the NFL's best-kept secrets. He's not a secret to the Patriots, though. The Patriots are much more than a quarterback away from contending again, so they're probably looking to get as many good players as they can for their rebuild. That's why they'd won all those first-round picks. So while a guy like Myers isn't going to take the place of a first-round pick, the Raiders just might be able to put him in the place of the third-round pick. Myers led the Patriots in receiving yards every year from 2020 to 2022, so they'd be getting their number 1 receiver back. It was the offense that held the Patriots back, so it would be a big help to them. It would be a help to the Raiders too, because when you give up 3 first-round picks, you need to keep as many of your second and third-round picks as you can. And since the Raiders have Adams, Myers would be much more valuable to the Patriots than he would the Raiders. Remember, the Raiders are trying to get Daniels, a future franchise quarterback here. Myers isn't one of the untradables like Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins, Colton Miller, or Adams anyway. Again, the Raiders really don't need Myers. He's a slower, less dynamic version of Adams. Adams is also a high-volume receiver offensive coordinator Luke Getsy knows how to use, so there won't be much of a role for Myers. What the Raiders really need is Trey Tucker's speed on the other side of Adams. When Myers is in there with Adams, the defense can put 8 in the box to stop the run and use the safety to double Adams. Completions to Myers for a few yards are of little consequence, so the defense can keep 8 in the box while doubling Adams. Speed on the other side of Adams makes the defense pay for using that kind of defense. Then they would have to make a choice of putting 8 in the box to stop the run or taking that safety out so they can have safety over the top on both sides. You want to make the defense choose to take one thing or another away. You don't want the defense to be able to stop everything with one alignment. Another guy that can help mitigate the draft capital cost is edge rusher Malcolm Koonce. No, I really don't want to see him go. I love this kid, so the only way I'd put him in the deal is if the Raiders could by some chance be able to keep one of those first-round picks. At least turn one of those first-round picks into a second or third-round pick. Koonce is a young guy that really showed what he can do when Pierce took over and gave him more opportunities to play. In the second half of the season, he racked up 8 sacks. How many would he have gotten if he was in there the whole season? Either way, Koonce is going into the final year of his rookie deal, so the Raiders definitely have a choice to make with him. Plus, edge rusher Tyree Wilson is coming back for year 2. Some of you think he's a bust, but slow down because he came in with an injury and missed the offseason and most of training camp. He just ended up playing way before he was ready because former edge rusher Chandler Jones flew over the cuckoo's nest. He wasn't in any kind of shape trying to play football in the NFL. I'm not saying this is what I would do, I'm just presenting options here. If the Raiders get a chance to trade up for a franchise quarterback, especially if it's Jayden Daniels, they gotta do it, right? Well, the cost of business for that is going to be 3 first-round picks and a third-round pick. And I'm not saying Daniels isn't worth it, but if there's any way you can mitigate that, you got to try to do that too, right? 3 first-round picks and a third-round pick is a lot. But if the Raiders can give the Patriots a chance to get Myers back, that might be worth one of those third-round picks. Then there's Koonce, who had such a great second half of the season. I wonder how he can change the deal. Well, I probably wouldn't involve him. Would you? Thank you for watching. See you next time.